Hello, my name's Pete Griffin. I've been in education now for over 50 years. I've had various roles: teaching in the classroom, head teacher, deputy head, advisory work, and towards the end of my career I became a neuromotor development therapist. Right size pencils are age appropriate pencils. Being in education for 50 years, having gone through a number of ministers and all the changes that happen in education, I was a bit cynical, and I'm ashamed to say I put my Ofsted hat on and said, where's your evidence? And I thought, well, how can I find out quickly and efficiently in a classroom setting without disrupting the classrooms too much if they do make a difference? It made sense about having a pencil that's got the right balance and the right weight, the right thickness to give you proper proprioceptive feedback. Proprioception is the feedback you get from here in order for you to control and make these movements. We write for a number of reasons, and three main ones are: one, to communicate to somebody; two, to put my ideas and thoughts down on paper; and three, to make notes or make a list so that we can remember things. If you're the teacher and you're telling me to write a letter or write a poem or write a fairy tale, and you've scaffolded it for me, no matter how much I've got up here, if I cannot get it down quickly, then my handwriting speed is my key limiting factor. So speed for me was quite important. And when I was head of a school, I actually tested the speed of all 300 children in my school and cross-matched it to their performance in the national curriculum. The children who were slow writers got the lowest levels in writing, and there was no correlation between the speed of writing and reading. The test I came up with was to get the children to write their names on a piece of plain paper over and over and over and over again. And the challenge was to write your name as quickly as you can, for I've got to be able to read it, over and over again in 2 minutes. And that way I could count how many letters they'd written in 2 minutes and compare their performance with the right size pencil and with their usual pencil. I also wanted to look at whether the right size pencil made any difference to pencil control. The idea I came up with was I would get the children to draw between a number of shapes like this, and they would have to go round the shape without touching either of the lines. 97% of the children benefited from using the right size pencil. Out of every 30 children, 26 of them improved in one or other of the tests by 10% or more, which I feel was quite significant. When I was working in nursery and reception, I noticed that when the children were drawing, when the reception children were writing their name, and when they were doing the tasks that I gave them to do, that quite a number of them would hold the pencil and you could see they're holding it so tight you could see the white knuckles. I call that white knuckle syndrome. White knuckle syndrome reduced significantly by using the right size pencil. So I decided in September to actually take an ordinary pencil and a right size pencil and use them on alternate days. So one day I'd use this, the next day I'd use that. Now, it's not particularly scientific, but this is the result. This is the ordinary pencil that I started with, and this is the right size pencil that I started with, and you can see that I've had to sharpen it about once or twice. I entered teaching 50 years ago to make a difference to children, and although when I went to right size I was quite cynical and didn't think that these pencils would make a difference, After working with 175 children and finding that 171 of them benefited the first time they picked up the pencil, I became quite convinced that these would make a difference. So, if you want to make a difference, look at right-size pencils.